One plastic little thing which makes life a lot easier is this plastic colors removing tool from AliExpress for cents, and it makes removing those plastic colors much easier. Here I'm using this impact wrench. It's also from China. It cost about 70 euros with 2 batteries, and it's not very powerful, of course, but it does the job. For helping, it's okay. We are getting to the wheel bearing. When the wheel is off, firstly we need to disconnect the handbrake cable, then undo those 2 bolts which holds the brake caliper, and remove this brake bracket. Now, using 7mm hexagon bit, undo those 2 bolts. We can remove the brake caliper. Let's try to remove the brake disc without removing this bracket. Then we need to remove the bracket in order to remove the brake disc. Here is the bracket, and here we have 2 bolts, one here and one down there. As you can see, the bracket is already coming off. And the bracket and the brake disc. And here we have that unlucky bearing. And we have an ABS sensor here. Of course, it's a quite sensitive component. It's made of plastic or ceramic, and I suggest you to remove it and move it aside in order not to damage when removing the bearing. To remove the ABS sensor, there is a 1/3 screw. So now we will know where's the ABS sensor also and how to replace it. Nice. And I can smell a heated metal here. It means that this bearing was heating very much. And now it's held on that axle by a 40mm screw. So let's remove the cap. With a simple tools. .40mm nut, and it's secured by making that splice here. So in order to undo that nut, I need to unfold that lip with a chisel. Very hard work. Now we can take our 40mm head and undo that nut. And for that nut, that 40mm socket is quite unusual, and I had to check quite few shops, and they didn't have any of these, and just at one shop I found this impact head, so had no choice. I had to buy it, and additionally I had to buy that ratchet. I don't know, that handle, that socket adapter, in order to replace that bearing. And this had cost me 12 euros, and this adapter and that extension, if I'm correct, cost me 12 euros also. Oh, looks like it wasn't tightened very much. I just had to lift a little bit the handle, and it came loose. So remove that nut. As you can hear, bearing makes noises. Later we will check what's wrong with it. It's not that easy to remove it. You have to have a special tool, a bearing removing tool. And this tool cost me additional 12 euros. I haven't used it yet, but we will try. I have checked another video on YouTube how to replace that type of bearing, and there's a hole, and this bolt goes straight into it, and you can't ram into anything in order to remove the bearing, and you need to place something here. And for that purpose, this socket adapter fits very well. So place it here. Put the bearing removing tool on the bearing itself, and screw that bolt in. Let's try to place it as tight as possible. In order for this removing procedure to be easy, I will use the impact wrench. I bought it, I have to use it. It's quite convenient. And here comes another help from China, another head socket adapter from 3/8 to 1.5 adapter. What a noisy procedure. Nice. No struggles. And here we have that bearing. And as you can see, the bearing balls have changed their color. The grease is all rusty, I guess. Let's analyze it later. Now what's left to do is to remove that bearing part from the axle. There we will use that same bearing removal tool, but firstly we need to move it a little bit aside using a chisel. And as you can guess, we won't be able to remove that wheel bearing part without removing brake disc cover, and there are a lot of rust. Let's hope that it won't fall apart when removing. There are 3 10mm bolts. Let's try. Oh, not a hard one. Not a hard one also. And the last one. Just take a look how much it's rusty, and I have checked its price. There are no unoriginal replacements, and the original one costs 45 euros. What an expensive piece of sheet metal. A little bit from one side, a little bit from another, and it's moving from the axle. Now there is a gap between the bearing part and the... Now the removing tool will be able to grab that part and to remove it. That's it. We have successfully removed the wheel bearing. And try to put on the new wheel bearing. Here the heavy equipment comes in to help. It's in place, moves freely without any noises. Let's put the new nut. as hard as possible in this case, and officially it has to be tightened to 275 Newton meters if I'm correct. In order to twist it, it has to twist on that side, so we have to place as much as we can here. Nice. Wheel bearing is in place. Now we can assemble everything back together and check what's the problem with the old one. So let's check what's wrong with that old one. We have already seen that there are a lot of rusty grease, at least it looks like. There are rusts inside here. Okay, first part of the bearing, yeah, it looks like rusty grease. Yeah, it looks like some covering of the bearing is falling apart, and it's not smooth. Yeah, look, here we have a lot of damaged ball track, I would say, and this is what makes that noise. And the outside part looks okay. There are grease and it's yellow, and there are no signs of rust. Yeah, that's how it should look like. As you can see, the white, nice clean grease, very nice inner part of the bearing, no damage, very smooth, nice and shining bearing balls. Yeah, so the problem was here, probably due to moisture which got in when the rubber sealing got degraded. So hope you enjoyed this video and it will be useful for you, and you will find some useful information. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and wait for more videos. Thank you and goodbye.